Welcome, Commanders. This is Midnight Command. We've got with us also Jano, Data King, and Charlie Boy. We were supposed to have with us CM. I'm horrible with his name, but Solak. There you go. Thank you very much. And this is the WC SideShow 26. Now, CM Solako could not join us, unfortunately, but he will be on another special edition here at 11 o'clock Eastern Time, so it'll be about 1 hour after the show ends. And I'll update you guys at the end of the show exactly how long it'll be until we start that show. But hopefully you can all stay tuned for that. Now let's start off with some of the basics. I'm just going to do a quick review of some of the updates that come out since our last show, and then we'll start talking in more detail about some of the other stuff. There has been a level 6 components released. There's been 4 different ones actually. One was the Tank Time release, and that had to do with the Behemoth schematics and the Paladin schematics. And then we also had the Hell on Earth, which is the Hellstorms and the Gatling Truck schematics. With those, I really didn't see much difference in them. I don't know if any of you guys have, or if you changed anything.
I've changed a couple things. I know the level 6, most of the text, this size doesn't change, so you're able to get a few offensive boosts. So I made a couple changes on a couple things. Not many people use the Behemoth. Lower levels using the Paladins. Hellstorm might have been the biggest one.
That was a good point actually that you make, because they actually changed the way they've been presenting these since one of our shows that we had, and we actually put them down kind of bad for where they were saying that they were less than the other schematic, I guess, or the 5 schematic. Now they're saying that they are the same.
Mm-hmm.
So that was
there was a couple 5s that were like 400 space, and upgrading the 6, they stayed the same. And I think you got like 5% damage to all, and some of the missiles, and a couple boosts. Where you got the big ones was in the epic techs. The epic techs, when they went to 6 on all those items, they were the big boosts.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, and then the next thing that's kind of big, and it seems like a lot of people are waiting on, is the AI change preview. But the big thing about that is actually the barricades. Let's go ahead and look at the AI stuff that's actually being addressed, and that has to do with the way things target buildings, I guess. And it's all ranged units calculate range from their center to the center of the target. Now this means that you actually have a good bit less range on those long-range units now. And we couldn't really test those out in preview due to the attack issues, but the sound of it to me sounds pretty bad. What do you think, Jano?
I think they should be okay, to be honest. We did want to test them out, but like you said, we couldn't test out half of the stuff because the attack was all messed up.
Yeah.
So look, I can't really give them a good or bad feedback on it. Purely, well, I can give them a feedback saying that it's not working. That's about it.
Yeah, it ends up shortening your range due to the actual targeting area being moved back further on your actual unit and the thing you're targeting itself. Now that does not apply to the melee units, and those units are things like the attack dog, suicide bomber, suicide truck, Widowmaker, and Widowmaker X. So those ones will still target the edge of the buildings.
Now, don't you guys find that maybe it's not going to affect as much as far as platforms are concerned because the actual footprint of the building is smaller, so you don't really lose as much on smaller buildings, whereas if you lose more on big. So like a direct targeting on the CC for the Blitz, you're going to lose targeting as much because the building's not as big. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but think about the Blitz. It's on the CC. The CC is huge. So to target that...
When you target the CC from the north, then you're going to have greater, or you gain more range that way. But if you target it from the left and right, then the Blitz has definitely got a range over you. Well, it's got range over anything anyway, regardless of what side you hit it from. But If you hit it from the north and the south, then these two angles will give you a better chance of getting at the CC faster, purely because of the range of the blitz, or the way the CC is set.
Do you think that's because the footprint of the building is set to the angle in which our base is laid out? Remember how we talked earlier about we wished our base was square and not rectangular? You know how
It's a possibility, but if you
on that rectangular axis because we're not able to turn them, that's why the north and south attacks are more effective.
Yeah, but if you look at the trigger system, like the red circle that the CC forms when you get the blitz on there, it actually shows you a trigger system. So in all 360 degrees, the shortest two is the north and the south. So it makes no difference what shape your base is. I
guess it's just an optical illusion that kind of plays tricks on you a little bit.
Yeah.
But that's cool. That's good to know. North and south.
And that goes for all turrets as well. North and south, and the bunkers, and the rocket silo, the drone silo, all have shorter ranges from north and south of them, instead of left and right.
Cool.
And you can see that within your base anyway.
Yeah.
Just to what was the other topics that she was on about?
Let's actually talk about the barricades. They're supposed to be having level 10 barricades come out and 100 additional barricades built. You want to talk about that?
Sure.
A little bit, or Data, either one?
We both talk about it. Jana, you want to lead off?
Well, the barricades, I reckon these are going to be a great update, purely because they reduce, or they don't have any splash damage behind them. So my main concern with the way I have my base set up is the splash. Well, it's not really my main concern. It's kind of a good thing, because anything that I have behind my walls, they're going to get splash damage, which could cause me an early DP. You know, so if anyone's using like heavy units such as Hellstorms and Hellfires, and even the Rupture rounds on the Vanquishers, these all have great splash damage, right? And with that with the level 10 barricades in play, you don't have to worry about all that stuff. You know, you can actually you can know that you can use these items and you ain't gonna splash anything behind it. It gives you a better understanding of how you will attack that base in the end, because you don't have to worry about the walls giving out an extra splash from behind of it. They've also got better health, which means that anything that's in front of that, let's say like my base again as an example, I tend to put what do you call them, turrets, platforms in front of it, which you could drop walls just by targeting my platforms if you've got a unit that can outrange my platforms. Like I said, you can use your air units such as Hellstorms or Elite Hellstorms with the barrage to splash damage my walls so that you can get inside. But we're going down to techniques and how you take down bases now. I don't really want to get down to and dirty too much on that, because these are kind of things that I don't want to be selling out to everyone.
No, I definitely don't want to reveal them. But the other advantage is the fact that we're actually going to get an additional 100 walls too.
Oh, that's going to be amazing.
Yeah, and I think that's a much needed increase. And there, Midnight shows the health. It doubles in health from 125 to 250,000. Now again,
Midnight, can you click on your screen so that you can show us all?
I am already.
All right.
But anyway, yeah, it does increase that, and also you can see here that there's a big increase in the differences of them. And you can see from each level. And it does, I mean, we've been all asking for additional walls for a while, because we're getting more and more buildings to protect, and it will just be a lot more helpful to be able to actually protect them with the walls. I think it's going to change a lot of how people are going to attack, you know, with that splash being reduced or eliminated, or whatever they end up deciding to do in the end. Because, I mean, people used to use the walls to target them when they were outside of the turrets, kind of like what Jana was saying, in order to kill the platforms behind them. But you, with these, won't be able to do that at all. It'll actually give you adequate coverage, so it's good for yourself, but it might be harder for things like rogues once they put them in the rogues. So you got to take that into consideration.
Super thorium depots.
That's right there.
Yeah. And I think the other thing is too that everybody was asking is the XP values for them too, and I think someone was trying to come up with that, whether or not they were gonna have XP or not. And not only that too, but the sheer cost of building the additional 100 walls, upgrading them through the thorium levels all the way up to 10, plus the addition of the other 160 walls we already have to 10. You're looking at several hundred million res and thorium to get that complete, and that's a grind.
It is a lot of thorium.
But is it worth it? Of course.
Well, I think as they stand right now, yeah, they're worth it. I think as long as they tweak that splash damage and you know the amounts and things of that nature and work all the kinks out, which I think they've been doing with the amount of previews they've had for it so far. So.
Yeah, I mean it completely doubles in health and armor, which is a huge increase. And
I mean that's 250,000. That's almost like as much as a unique unit, right?
Yeah, it's a lot.
You know.
They're going to be expensive to do, but they'll be worth it. Well, and then the splash damage, you're supposed to prevent that.
Is it worth all the clicking?
Yeah.
It's gonna...
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's
down attackers.
I think this is one of the first upgrades that they've actually had come out that I've actually been like, hell yeah, I want this now.
Yeah,
but
it's kind of overdue.
Yeah, it is, and I think it's a positive change. It's going to make things harder in other ways as well, as far as rogues and stuff go. So you can't be begging for this to come out now and then bitching about it when it does, and end up being put in all the rogues as well.
But rogues are easier to adjust to than PvP because rogues really don't change as often. So
one of the viewers in Twitch chat asked if this update, or he doesn't think this update will correct. They're cutting it short if they do end up bringing this out before the event. I really hope it doesn't.
I don't think it'll come out before the event.
No way.
We don't need additional glitches right before the event. It's better if they wait until after, definitely.
Yeah, it's too much of a demand, especially with the new things coming out and some of the information that we're probably leaked information that we'll get into later. It would create too much of a demand and too much, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
Definitely after the event.
What do you think, Charlie, about the walls? Do you have any input on this? What are you excited for them, or you just don't really care?
It's definitely going to help the lower players like myself, definitely, with all these spammers, definitely.
It'll help everybody, not just lower level players. It'll help everybody.
The only issue I have is the thorium's going to be a lot for the lower players to do this last stage of walls.
Surely
it is a last stage of walls, so it is supposed to be for a higher level player. Therefore, it gives us something to do, and it is going to be harder because it's what it's geared towards. Level 30 shouldn't have maxed out walls.
Unless that's all they've been working on.
I'm sure that they'll, eventually go to 15 like they're doing with the buildings, but it takes time.
Oh, let's hope not. What they're going to put on
there
next?
One day.
Shocked effects, suicide effect, or blast explosion?
Blast? That might be kind of cool, actually, now that you're mentioning it.
What, barricades?
On the barricades?
Yeah.
If they
I got tons of ideas, but I don't want to ruin everybody's day.
Hell, you could shoot peacekeepers out of them if you really wanted to.
You could incorporate them into actual defensive things. You can give them
Like
different
mini
looks.
bunkers. Like mini bunkers.
More height.
Yeah.
More height.
You can fit one stinger in each one of them. Oh, that's a lot of stingers.
Or an E-rifleman, maybe, You can decide if you want E-rifleman or stinger or mortar team. Yeah. It's interesting.
To be honest, if you're looking at the walls, right, the walls are like...
There's a lot of it.
That's the walls are pretty small in comparison to the actual base itself. It's out of proportion. Do you not think so? I mean, look at the bunker and look at the turrets, and then look at the wall. And the walls are like tiny. They're like I don't know, traffic cones in comparison to a bus.
Well, to be honest,
Yeah.
I think the bunkers need a beef.
Go on.
Yeah, I do
Bunkers.
too. I think they need an
Bunkers.
upgrade.
Yeah, the bunkers are due for a little beef. I don't know. I think the proportion is right on target. I think the bunkers are the only thing that lacks a little bit as far as the platforms go. I mean, I don't know. I think the
I wouldn't
platforms
really
are
want
big.
them
I
any
mean,
bigger. I wouldn't want them
well, I
any
mean,
bigger because they take too much
platforms have
space.
more health than a bunker.
Yeah, they do.
Walls have more health than platforms and bunkers.
I'm sure that'll be coming here soon, hopefully. You know, give us a little bit more space in the bunkers and give us a little bit more armor on them and be good to go.
Yeah.
Shinzen just said that in level 20 or so, the walls will start getting all these cool features to them instead of just being a splash.
Yeah, well, we don't need them right now. With the units we have attacking, that would be a little OP on defense. But it would, I could see it happening one day. Definitely, if it keeps going long enough. But what did you guys think of the new Viper weekend that we had? Since we've pretty much discussed, you know, the barricades pretty well.
It's a grinding fest weekend, really, isn't it?
It is.
I mean, for the smart people out there that's got all the uniques, and you decide to scrap them at one point, you could actually you could actually store billions of thorium by just building your Widowmaker, Widowmaker X, your Crusader X. You know, you could store all this resource away for a rainy day. And if you do accidentally overbuild, if you do build these units, it won't make any difference because they're actually quite costly when you when you go to scrap them. So you've still got, you know, if you're in a bad situation in a war or something like that, you've got a rainy day, a couple of 100 thorium there.
Viper X weekend was good for one thing, exactly like you said. If you already have the Viper X, which we know is superior, because it just is, then you can use the regular Viper, like you said, to stash res in builds and in upgrades.
Yeah.
So it gives you the double dose. I mean, that's really the major benefit to it. I don't know. I thought it was kind of. I didn't care for it. I'd rather watch a video of a girl with big boobs take a straw and put it between them and then blow in the straw and make fart noises than would have did the Elite Viper weekend. I mean, that's how boring and pointless it was to me. So.
It does just seem to be kind of repetitive. I mean, it's not the first Elite weekend. It's actually the third, I think.
It looks pretty cool in my base, though.
It looks really cool. Now, what would have really looked cool is if the Viper X looked like that and had a yellow paint job.
I would say
because
the Viper
that actually. Well, yeah. Look, I mean, could we go back to that picture? What does that picture look like? All right.
Actually, you need to click on your screen.
Multiple missile batteries obviously show on it, but what actually comes out of the Elite Viper? One shot. You look at the Viper X, and it's got just the two guns on either hand. It doesn't have all these batteries, but what comes flying out of it? Multiple shots.
As we're looking at this picture right now, what do we see? We see five rockets on each arm.
10,
so that's 10
15,
rockets.
16,
and it's got another 5
17.
rockets on top of its head.
Plus
and
the
then
2.
I'd say I wouldn't. I don't know if those 2 are rockets or just like sensors, because it doesn't seem to have, like, how can I say?
Even still, 15.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like 15 to me as well.
15 rocket launchers in there, and all it does is one shot.
That's what I'm saying. The look would be so much better on the X version and with a yellow and black paint job.
All I could say is, if they create another Elite weekend, they should come out with. They should start thinking out the box and actually make the unit the way they make it look.
Yeah.
You know, like they've done with this Viper X.
Redesign the Viper and make the Viper look like, the Viper X.
make the Viper do what it looks like it can do, because at the moment the Viper doesn't look like it can do half of the stuff that it's meant to be able to.
I thought I thought the whole
So-
point of these was the Elite version is supposed to look like the regular version, but just with a different paint job.
Yeah, and this one looks completely different.
Well, this looks completely.
Yeah, it's a total redesign, unlike the Crusader and the. No, there's no Elite Crusader. I'm sorry.
Spectre.
The
Yeah, there's
Spectre.
Crusader and Spectre.
There's an Elite Crusader. Yeah, there is,
Crusader
and that just
and
has a different paint job.
Mm-hmm.
So and so does the Spectre. So I thought this should have followed suit with that.
Yeah, that was the first thing that caught me off guard when I saw the picture. I was like, what the hell is that? I thought it was the Viper X. And then a lot of people were mistaking it kind of for that a little bit, it seemed like, because they were saying that it was shooting air and stuff, and
No.
I don't know, it was crazy some of the posts I'd seen.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it doesn't shoot air, it still only shoots ground. The only changes to it is that it has higher damage, more armor, and faster movement speed, but you cannot see that on any of the specs. So honestly, you don't know how much of a change
The shots fired doesn't have the fluorescent green anymore. It just has red.
Yeah.
But they still give the corrosion effect, though.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there no trade and use the Elite one, and you can tell that which one's better?
No.
I have the
can't
Viper
even
X.
do it
I don't
on
have the
mine
regular.
and
But,
my
yeah.
commands.
Yeah, I only have the Viper X. I don't have the regular
can't even
Viper
do
or
it.
Elite. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that is one good thing, though, now that you brought that up. Anyone who did not get the regular Viper can get it if they got the Elite one. So they would have just the Elite Viper.
Mhm.
But, you know, at least it gives them another opportunity to get it if they missed it in the event.
Definitely.
To be honest with you, the Viper's outdated, and it's gone beyond its usefulness from when it first came out. I mean, you see my video where my Viper X carried basically one platoon into a base plus the air to take out the whole entire base. You couldn't even do that nowadays.
You know what it is, though, Jano? I mean, between that and between the Elite and regular Viper and the X is better. But what's still good about the regular Viper and Elite version is its speed. And the fact that you can use it in online battles and PvE battles and events, and you can bait with it.
I like using it running
hit and
across the
run.
map to thoriums, because, I mean, it is so much faster, you can just get there in a quick
It is still useful. I mean, granted, if you only have that and you don't have the X, it is still useful. Don't think it's not.
Who
But if you
doesn't have the X these days? The X is so easy to get. I mean, you can get it through just by hitting the Hellhound 45s, and you can get it through hitting players' bases and acquiring the medals to get it.
So the idea is if you play your cards right and you hit the Hellhound 45s, you earn medals, and you have the opportunity to unlock the prizes.
Well, no,
and if you unlock a prize,
the
then
prize
you're able,
is,
the prize is, and you acquire medals. So if you play your cards right, you'll get one prize, and you'll be able to unlock the other with the medals. So you'll be able to double dip a little bit. So, but yeah, the Viper weekends, I don't know. I like them. I think they should be a little more rare. I mean, save them a little bit, space them out. They should have been. I mean, they were all.
I just want to answer
kind of got
one of the
already.
audience. Data 1 minute. I just want to answer Shinson here. He says that they shouldn't do them like the sickles. They should do them like the sickles. I think the X amount and the win, I don't think it should be based on chance. Well, you know what? With these elite versions, like the Crusader, Elite Crusader, the Elite Spectre, and the Elite Viper, this gives the opportunity for the higher tiered players to feel a little bit more special, because they know that they've got something that not a lot of other players have. There's a lot of players out there that's always saying, oh, we want this schematic, we want the color to change our units. Well, they're getting it, but just in the chance of actually hitting a set amount of things and based on luck. And with that, you get to feel the special needs of having something that no one else or not many other players have.
Yeah, but I want to comment on that too. But I mean, I did the Spectre weekend, and I even did the Crusader weekend. And I did the Spectre weekend because I already had the regular Spectre, and I wanted the Elite version, just because I thought it looked cooler.
Exactly, you see?
The Crusader, I wanted to get the Elite Crusader because I didn't have the Crusader or the Crusader X because I quickly realized it wasn't that good. So I moved along. But I still wanted it and did the weekend. Probably combined in the two, I did over 200 bases. No lie. And I didn't earn either of the prizes. I got a boatload of medals. And each time I actually didn't, I spent some and the blah, 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 whatever. I didn't unlock them. I wound up unlocking the Viper X because I just got sick and tired of it. And I just figured that was the best one to go with. But I've hit a bunch and I haven't earned it. And so I don't know as far as being fair and for the high levels and stuff like that, because I know there's quite a few people that have hit it and the ratio isn't necessarily what it should be, or I don't know, something's up with it, because a lot of people get it after hitting like 1 or 2, and other people hit 20, 30, 40, 50, etc., and don't get it.
Yeah, I hit the Spectre, the Crusader, and the Viper, all for the elites, because I already got the originals. And the only ones that I really got was the Spectre and the Viper X. I could not get my luck wasn't in there to get the Crusader X.
How many bases did it take you to get those 2 prizes?
Oh, don't even ask me. I lost count.
Countless. That's what I'm saying, though. But you eventually earned it. I mean, Yeah. But I mean, come on a weekend to do 90 bases, 30 a day.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
You can do more than 30 a day. You can take out these 45s in one attack in less than like 5
Eventually,
minutes.
you're going to have to repair or coin.
Yeah, correct.
Eventually. So to stay on that path, and 30 is a good number to space it out evenly over 3 days. I mean, it's reasonable. It's you're able to do them quick enough where you don't have to sit in front of the computer for hours and hours. But my point is that all levels. I mean, there was a couple different designs too of these bases, multiple designs, and people hit them all. I tried it. I was like hit 10 of each setup. I was like, let me give it a whirl. I didn't get nothing. The next event, 10 of each setup, didn't work again. So.
I have to say my biggest complaint about these elites event, whatever weekends, is that they are weekend only. There's a lot of us out there that work on weekends and can't play that much.
True.
I mean, I've luckily gotten 2 of the 3 prizes, but still, it's like, I mean, you have to spend a significant amount of time, and it's very difficult physically to do it, for myself at least. I mean, I work 12 and a half hours, Friday through Sunday. When's this available? Friday through Sunday. It's just, I don't like that they do it like this. Now, I love what they've done with Shadow Ops. You still have 3 days to do it, but they end up giving you like a week to actually do it within, do those 3 days. So you can choose when to start it, but you still have, the same amount of time to actually complete it. I don't know why they don't do these elite weekend things the same way.
Well, there's there was a post that was created by Slocko that they might be doing something like that.
It would be great to see that.
In the future, Shadow Ops. We don't exactly know whether it's going to be a brand spanking new unique or it's going to be something, as you just spoken there, bring out the elites again.
Now, Charlie, I know you're a little lower level than the rest of us here. Have you had any success getting these elite prizes?
The Crusader X is probably the main unique that I got when I was doing some of these events. I got most of the packs, bar 1 on the Shadow Ops.
Okay.
That's about it, really.
But what about the Crusader, the Elite Crusader, the Elite Viper, the Elite Spectre? Were you able to get any of those, or did you try?
I tried. I got the Crusader X, and that's the only one I've managed to achieve, unfortunately.
And how many do you think you did of those bases in order to get that
6.
1 prize? You did 6 to get that 1?
It was.
Okay, well that's not
6
too
to do
bad.
1.
So you're pretty lucky.
Pretty fortunate.
Yeah.
It's the luck of the draw. It's the luck of the draw, I think.
Yeah, I think it's the overall ratio with the players. not your ratio. I think it's the amount of people hitting 45s at that particular time, and it's just all big lottery, and numbers are spinning, and boom, this one ends, and you get it. You know
Yeah,
what I
there's
mean?
no way to really interpret it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the best way to describe it. But yeah, do you use? Here's the question, though, Charlie. Do you use the Elite Crusader?
No.
What level is it?
Level 10.
What?
Do
Yours
you,
is higher level than mine.
hold on. Do you build it and end it to stash res?
I did do that, but then I sort of coined it up for an event, and then I left it because I didn't use it.
Oh,
But you
wow.
can still,
Queened it for
build
no
it. It's
reason?
not an instant build, though. That's what I'm saying. You can stash. It's a long build, so you can stash the res in the build and cancel the build and get the res back.
I've never
That's
actually
fine.
tried that before.
Exactly. So there's a thing. When you go hitting these events and you're like, oh snap, I got something in tech, I got something in defense lab, I got something in academy, I got a building upgrading, I got something in the workshop. Damn, and I'm full on res, and I'm hitting another base. I'm going to be waste 20 million. No, you're not. Go into the elite. Go into your war factory, and build the Elite Crusader.
That's like 2 uniques is worth almost 80 million for res alone.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine having the elite, all the uniques rebuilding in your war factory. That's a hell of a lot of
42 million and some change each.
I never really have during the event issues with getting resources because you get tons of resources during the event, but the thorium, when it comes to like reloading your blitz in the rocket silo, it's a great idea for that. When you're running low, you need a little extra because you don't get much during the event. If you're just doing solely the event and not worrying about getting thoriums, it's a great way to.
That's where the buildings kick in, isn't it?
I have an idea during events.
Oh, there you go. Share it.
You know the deuce and a half ops that you can get from bases?
Yep.
Yeah.
I use that on the events because it just increases your thorium and your res every time you hit the base.
It doesn't. The deuce and a half increases the regeneration of your thorium depots, not the loot acquired from bases.
Mm-hmm.
But it still increases the way you look at it. It still increases.
Deuce and a half, 40% increases output at deposits and producers is the exact wordage. So that means that when you get thorium or regular deposits and your producers, your pumps within your base, when you collect them and the res collects, it increases by 40%. So in theory, a 1 million thorium depot will get you 1.4 million res. You will get an increase of 40% on that 1 million.
Yes,
that's exactly what that means. Now looted will get you bonus on rogue bases. So if you have the kleptomaniac or pickpocket, whatever you have, if you have them and you're looking to get big res and make big money and stash and make moves, then that's what you want to. That's what you want to throw on. But you want to make sure you got slot for that res. So
that's probably why I've been not doing very well then.
That's all right. You've been misinformed. That's all right. But now you got the right information. You're on the right path.
Yeah, I'm sure it's happened to others as well.
Yeah. The deuce is real cool for thorium. A lot of people thought it didn't work, but it does, and that's a big help. Sorry.
It does. It makes a huge difference. But anyway, let's move on to the Shadow Ops. Now that the Shadow Ops is complete, at least the 4, I always forget what they call them, but the 4 tiers. Are complete. Yeah. Or 3, actually. There's 3 of them. No, there's not. There's 4.
There's 4.
Yeah.
This is phase 1.
There's 3 tiers and there's 4 phases. I always get them backwards. There's 3 tiers and 4 phases.
Yeah, that's right.
And with this, hopefully everybody was able to get them all because it'll be very helpful in the event at the end when it comes to the end prize. But we start out with, you can, for tier 1, get Elite Rifleman, Elite Razorback, Valkyrie, and Elite Rhino, which is great for low-level players. Even if they could get just help with 145, they could get both tier 1 and tier 2 because they're the ones that are probably missing these prizes. Then we have tier 2, which includes all the other things that are needed, such as the hover tank, elite shock tank, stinger, and elite gladiator, which I know the elite shock tank and the elite gladiator have been available in lower wave prizes. So I'd say most people already have those. What do you guys think as far as that goes?
Well, the
Stinger,
hover tank was the major one, to
yeah,
be
the hover
honest.
tank was the main one because that had to do with Tier 3 almost completely.
Yeah.
And with that one, you could get the different schematics packs and then also the elite hover tank itself. Luckily, I ended up getting them all, and in the end, what you end up with is a plus 8% damage during next event. Now, with each one of these completions, you actually get a plus 2, so it accumulates to a total of 8. Were you guys all able to end up completing these?
I'm actually mid through the 4th one right now. I'm going to finish that up tonight.
So you're almost there, and you've got plenty of time still to finish it.
And I have I have the elite hover tank and all but one pack.
Now, there was a glitch that was being used with one of the Spec Ops, and that was the one that had the 4 mega tanks. I guess it was having issues with its reload time. It was allowing you to keep using it. It didn't have to refresh or have that cooldown period. But that has been fixed, so anybody wanting to use that, you can still use it, but it takes a lot longer to get all those 20 ones, the level 20 rogues done. Who was using those? I don't know if anyone was, but just it's been corrected.
Was it the fact that you could use them in separate attacks, or was it the fact that
you could continually use them? You could do 4 different bases at a time, and then you could continually attack as each of those ended. So you could do 20 of them in an hour, or not 20, 80 of them in an hour, and be completely finished with it with one Spec Op. But that Spec Op can be purchased in the gear shop. So
yeah, the other one that was good too was the Rare Air.
Yeah. All right. Any questions about the Shadow Ops? Any of you guys have any questions or anything you'd like to say about it?
No, keep upgrading your hover tanks because we know they take forever.
They do take forever, and they're really the schematics are pretty nice to have on them.
Yeah, I was able to test them. They're badass, and my focus ever since the test has been to upgrade my hover tanks, and I'm still a long ways away.
Yeah, Shinsen here says no mines hurt them. It says I'm not sure what the no lasties are. Last defenders, I guess. Saves messing up Hellstorms or hitting mine with megas. Also, your Hellfires as well, because you can have the Hellfire missiles on them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it definitely is good to use in different situations. And
Novocaine wanted to ask a question to Kixeye. He was having issues trying to get into the show with his microphone. He was having issues with his microphone, so he never turned up in the end. The question was, what's happening with the low-level dead bases in sectors? I mean, dead as in a fully 100% not active, and it's taking up spaces in sectors. Will these be eventually removed? The question is, they should be removed within 14 days. If they're not, fill in a ticket, support ticket, and create that to Kixeye Help Center so they
That's
can
funny.
be cleared out.
That's funny he asked that question because I actually was perusing the map in my sector today, and I was actually thinking of the exact same thing. I was looking around and I noticed, wow, there's a lot of dead, flat bases.
Well, this would be a
pinpoint them,
great thing
get the
to
cords.
stay. This would be a great thing to stay tuned for our later show at 11 Eastern time with CM Salako.
Yeah,
That's right.
CM Salaka will be able to answer these.
There's a lot of questions. Yeah, he'll be able to. Yeah, that'll be pretty.
He's the official CM, Kixeye CM in the forums, which we're having on later today in 1 hour 30 minutes actually, or less than that.
Well, 1 hour and 20 minutes.
Yes, ma'am.
So we're counting down. I'm sure y'all will be as well.
Oh yeah.
Let's move
Yeah,
on.
I like the shadow. I'm pumped about more shadow ops. I'm pumped about future stuff. I'm pumped about the next possible schematic.
Very
Yeah,
interesting.
but that's another question. I mean, is there going to be more shadow ops? Are they going to have a different type of ops? Or are they going to keep this going? Because I mean, we had the 4 complete already with the hover tanks, so they would have to add something else in order for us to continue doing them. But let's go ahead and move on to the Operation Iron March. Now, with this, we cannot talk about anything, and we will not talk about anything that has to do with covert ops. The only thing that we will discuss during this episode or this section will be the leaked information that's been put everywhere. So, just to put it simple, it's everywhere.
It's the internet. Once it gets out, it's out.
But anyway, this event starts on the 24th of this week, which is Thursday for us. So, I mean, I guess depending on your time zone, it might be a little bit later, but I would stay tuned for it then.
Based on your sector, too, I think when they have that. And
yeah, so. Sectors. Of course, Sector 1 starts first, and the 400s are last, so stay tuned for it to begin. Yeah. But anyway, we've got a bunch of prizes in this one, and a lot of things that are pretty different looking, and it's hard to really discuss until you actually play it. But what we've seen in previews or the videos that have been posted, is that you have the Mercenary Camp and a Marauder that is released after Wave 1. Now, the Mercenary Camp, I guess, has something to do with these mechs that they posted a puzzle about originally in the forums. Do you guys want to discuss anything that you've seen on the videos about the Mercenary Camp?
Yeah, I know Sulaco released, that's what the prize was going to be. I think it was last week on BV that it was going to be Wave 1. We were all going to earn the first drone or unit, whatever. There wasn't a name for them yet. It was just the first prize and a new building. And we were only assuming, and then, after we saw the leaked preview information on some of the videos and pictures and posts and stuff that just made their way around, that there was a couple different versions of them, which was pretty crazy. So there's, Wave 1, I think the one was there, yeah, there's all kinds of pictures going on there. Midnight, you can read that better than me, I can't see that.
According to this video that was posted, there's a striker, which is at Wave 61. I think let's see if we can find one. There we go. Here's the building. It's the Mercenary Camp at Wave 1 and the Marauder at Wave 1. Then there's the Hellstorm schematic, which is now at Wave 21 for anyone who hasn't gotten it yet. You have the Wrecker at Wave 41 after you pass it. You have the Striker, and that's after Wave 61. There's an Elite Marauder after Wave 71. An Elite Wrecker after Wave 81. And an Elite Striker after Wave 91. All of these are mercs, so that's 3 different versions, each with an Elite version, so it's a total of 6. But once you have them, I mean, you're only going to have 3 in the Mercenary Camp to actually deal with, I guess.
And each one of these units are not upgradable linked to the Academy. They upgrade via the merc camps, the mercenary camp.
And build there is what it looked like in the video.
Yeah, and you build there as well.
I mean, like we said, as all this stuff was totally leaked. There's people with blatant videos and information and stuff out there, so it's already there. So
from the looks of it, you can deploy these things in a bunch of random locations, and it's got some kind of big round target that counts down or something. It's kind of crazy looking. I'm not really sure how well they function.
It's a blue triangle building from the looks of it.
She's not talking about that. She's talking about how the mercs deploy.
Oh.
Yeah, that triangle building that you're talking about. Let me see if we can find it. I've got a bunch of pictures here.
Yeah.
No, I don't know if I have it on here or not, but I did see the video of that as well that you're talking about. But it is a triangle shape, and the videos that they have so many. I mean, I think I saw all the way up to Wave 110 videos, and those things look pretty deadly. It looks like they really have infinite range. They can pretty much target you anywhere, and they seem deadly. I mean, they have a big splash effect. They kill off whatever's near them. So I would steer clear with your ground units if you can. It seems slow though. It does have a countdown, so you can try to avoid it. I don't know. It's just what it looks like to me. You guys see any of those videos?
Yeah, I'm looking to see if I have a picture of it.
I thought I did, but
Yeah, I thought I had one too. Let me keep looking.
I've seen a couple videos, but nothing
Yeah, but
special.
what shocked me about that was
Doesn't
that the guy showed that it had like ridiculous range.
yeah, I saw that too. It looked crazy.
These are all based on a YouTube leaked videos, guys and girls. Whoever's watching right now, these are already leaked informations on YouTube.
Yeah, and they were not buildings you could get according to the YouTube videos. I mean, I don't know if during the event they'll give them out or something. You can get them as a XP prize possibly, but they're only in the event roads from what I saw. Which, I mean, I think it would be awesome to have one of those things as base defense on your own base, but to go against it looks pretty formidable.
I can't comment really on it because I don't really know what it does. I've not seen too much of the leaked videos on it, so I don't know.
I saw them on the leaked videos like as low as wave 4. So,
I saw
it
just shoot like a crusader out of the sky.
Issue.
And yeah, and my issue, the whole issue with it was from the video that I saw, is that like you said, the way the little mercenary robots, the way they deploy, and the way that Crusader laser beam is functioning, in my opinion, are just kind of adaptations. I mean, I know the whole thing, everybody's going to share ideas and stuff like that, but Jano and I had this discussion on the War Commander Roundtable that, you know, they could have took tech from within the game and implemented into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like you said, BFG.
Yeah. Yeah, that was
Have a super giant BFG that has that incredible range. Why go off something that's already in another?
Yeah, in another game. You know, you already have the cool stuff already implemented, so why not apply that and make it your own? You know, take their idea but make it War Commander rather than, you know.
Well, they kind of did that with the Crusader. Remember when that first event, when the Crusader was available, and they had like the Doctor or whatever Crusader that was completely different than the regular Crusader, but it was only in the event bases. I mean, I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, that's cool. But then again, how many Crusaders did we get overall?
Yeah, just the
3.
Oh well, now yeah, but back then there was just the one.
Yeah. So we didn't get his, but we got 3 of them.
Right. So. But it was incorporating something that was already in the game, kind of like what you were just saying, instead of something completely out of the left field. But I don't know. It's what it is. We'll know more when the event starts on Thursday. But anyway, there's also pictures that were released that said that we had a XP prize, which we've all been asking for. But it's nothing to really be too impressed with, unfortunately. I have to go ahead and post the screenshot here. It is the Iron March Trophy. And instead of being unlocked at like wave 150, it looks like it's XP of 135. So unless that changes, I mean, you're still going to have to go to a pretty high wave in order to get something like that.
Yeah, 135k is a lot of XP.
That is.
What do you make of these trophies?
I think they're a waste of space and time and energy and just not even worth looking at.
If you're the type of gamer that actually and doesn't mind it and has the money and that's your thing or her thing, more power to you for getting the trophy. But in my opinion, it's nothing to strive for. It's not like the Zombifier or, you know, the Ruby trophy that you actually physically get to hold in your hand. You know, it's not really worth anything. It doesn't shoot, it doesn't defend, you can't target it, it just sits there. So when your base is flat, you've got a trophy that you beat Iron March, but you've got a flat base.
That's right.
So,
It can't
Jano,
be
how many
destroyed
trophies
when
do you
you're
have,
placing
Jano?
there.
I have 0 trophies.
How many trophies,
Well,
Jano?
I have 0 trophies.
Okay. Ashley, how many trophies do you have?
I have 0 trophies.
Charlie, how many trophies do you have?
0.
I have 0 trophies. You know why? Because they don't do anything to help you.
Exactly. And if we go for them to a wave 150, what can we buy with the XP? Nothing.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So you're gonna get
That's
far
not
more.
right.
You're gonna get far more XP than you can spend.
You get that
Say that.
before you even hit to the wave to the trophy, if you already have all the prizes.
Yeah.
But anyway, there's also some good news for the low levels out there that don't have everything. There are some sale prizes. Let's see if I can
Oh,
figure
that's
out what
sale.
I did with that picture. There we go. I knew I was going to use that for something. We have the Warhawk schematic that's on sale, and it looks like it's 17,500, I believe. That might be an 11, but I'm pretty sure it's a 17.
Yeah.
17.
Then there's the Stinger schematic, which is on sale for 15,000 XP. And the Reaper drone schematic, which is on sale for 15,000 XP.
Bargain.
So, yeah, and if there's more out there, there might be, I don't know. This is just what's on the video, and that's all I know about. So,
Stinger and Reaper are good bargains at 15K.
yeah, and also there was a post made by CM Sulaco that the Banshee and the Banshee schematic will be available this event. So for anybody that's been wondering about that, it definitely will be available this event.
Now,
And
did he
was
say for
on the
XP?
forum.
Did he say for XP?
No, it doesn't say how much XP. It just says on the forum, Commander, with Operation Iron March starting just a few days away, I wanted to give everyone a sneak peek with some event shop prizes that can be earned. It says Banshee schematic. This is your chance to rule the skies with this powerful, non-unique air unit. And I recommend for everyone who doesn't have it, get it, if you can. Because it is
So,
definitely worth it.
The Banshee and the Banshee schematic. Nice, but maybe we can ask him later if it's going to be XP or wave based.
Definitely. Like I said, everybody stay tuned to to CM's Sulaco. That's going to be on at 11 Eastern Time, which is in about an hour and 8 minutes from now.
Oh yeah.
Is there any... Sorry, what was that? Go ahead.
I was just going to say, would you prefer it to be XPs or wave based for the Banshees?
I already have it, so honestly, it makes no difference to me, and probably to Jano or Data King as well.
I would say to support our constant argument that something XP is needed, I would make it available via numbers, not wave. Since based on the reflection of what the leaked information was, the way these prizes are earned with waves, then I would stick with XP.
It looks like all the times when the new, the old stuff that were wave events come out again, they're almost always, I've never seen them as a wave prize. I've only seen them as XP prizes.
How would you
until
feel?
they're super old.
How would you feel about in replace of the new Iron March trophy, or in addition to, one epic tech be released for equal amount of XP?
I think it would be cool for the people that don't have them.
120,000 XP,
Mhm.
135,000 XP.
At least then it's something that can be used.
You know, I'm just throwing that number out there because I know getting the 135,000 in standard events is pretty tough.
We were getting pretty much that, though, I mean, when we went to 91 in previous events, or 92 in previous events, so I don't think that's going to be too awful difficult to come by. I mean, I know that's what I was in.
Not everybody plays the same, though, so you kind of have to. I'm kind of thinking overall.
Yeah.
That'd be definitely interesting.
Yeah, I mean, and a lot of people are asking for these epics, and I think to bring maybe one out, if it's faction appropriate for the original release of them, maybe bring them out for a featured release, and make it 85,000 for the lowest tier epic tech for the lowest unit that hasn't been released yet, and then work your way up, or vice versa. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I think that would be pretty cool.
Wow.
If something that would give other people, XP
Guys,
prizes to get.
not. I'm just gonna completely go off topic here. I just test out the hover tanks in a giant with a bunch of elite riflemen as its meat shield, and the hover tank with the elite riflemen just obliterated a giant thorium depot on its own in one
How,
attack.
how many hover tanks did you use?
A full boat, 13.
1, 2,
12.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 hover tanks in total. And the rest of them was elite riflemen.
That setup was heavy flat. There was mainly just plasma, right?
No, it had everything in there. It had hover tanks, it had mega tanks. It was a hexagon-shaped one.
Yeah, but they're not as good as the hover tanks you're throwing at them.
Oh, wait, let me see how much damage I just got from that. Oh, 4 hours and 55
Yeah, the hover
minutes
tanks
damage.
the hover tanks are
No,
no.
that was the wrong one. That was wrong. Wait. 2 hours and 39 minutes I got for one giant thorium depot.
That's not bad.
I got that all on recording. First time try.
Now,
Did you try in the
dead
air?
tune would be about 9 hours, right?
Sorry?
That dead tune, if it was completely dead, it'd be about 9 hours with 8, and the rest filled up with regular units, right?
It was just the hover tanks and elite riflemen. That was it.
Yeah.
I had 60 elite riflemen and 8 hover tanks, and they wiped out a giant thorium depot.
Yeah.
In one attack. I don't know exact time, but I will get the video. I'll put that video out. I did take damage.
No, but what I'm saying
But it
is
wasn't extreme.
that tune. If that tune were to die, it would be like an 8.5 hour, 9 hour repair. Correct?
Possible, yeah, correct.
Yeah, because of the amount of hover tanks in it. But
Now,
what I'm
did you
saying
use
is you
any
could do
air with
multiple
that?
giants with just that one tune.
I didn't use any air.
No air, just that.
No
so,
air.
I mean, if you add
Just
the air
that
in there
too.
with
So-
that as well.
So the low levels here now. That's done all four of the tiers or the phase of the shadow ops, and that has riflemen or elite riflemen. Either one of the two can actually use that same technique. I'm pretty sure I could perfect that and take absolutely no damage. But you could use that same technique to wipe out everything in one attack in less damage time and less time as well.
So be sure to keep an eye out for that video to be released.
The first video that I'm releasing on this is like just the first time I tried it out just to see if it worked, because I had this thought in my head that it might work, and it did work. One attack, no air support. You don't have to use the funky new shiny toys like Vanquishers. I've seen some people using the hover tank with one Vanquisher, and they did pretty well in these, but a lot of level players don't have Vanquishers.
Yeah, there's a lot of players that are even higher level that don't have them, to be honest.
Exactly. So you could wipe out a giant thorium depot in one attack, probably less than 5 minutes, and take the minimum of 2.5 hour damage if you don't even do it that good. If you do it
probably do
good,
two or three depots with that one tune.
well, you'll have to go back and micro heal your elite riflemen.
Yeah.
Or not micro heal, but fully heal them. Like
Or just swap them out and have some extra ones ready. But yeah, you could definitely probably pull off 2, possibly 3. If you bring some air support in, maybe you stretch those tanks out a little longer.
I'm pretty amazed with that. I'm sorry, but I didn't realize.
No, they are.
They're tanks.
Yeah. No, they're beautiful. They were great. When we tested them, they were nice.
Yeah, I knew they were nice because I used what was it, I just didn't realize you could do it with very basic units. And I mean, I'm talking about the elite hover tank as a basic unit for low levels, because for the newer players, they've got, not only have they got the hover tank and the elite hover tank, but they've got lowered upgrade time. If they've managed to get all 4 tiers, or if they've got a friend that was going to help them out.
Curse them.
And just to say this, I mean, if it's going to go on a giant thorium, you might want to be working on that for this event. Shinenson here asked, how many level 34s and below do you know that reach wave 61? This event, from the videos, I don't know what will be changed, but from the videos, they look pretty intense. And if you don't have the vanquishers, especially with the suicide, you're going to have a lot of difficulty. And even with the suicide, I mean, be prepared to coin if you're wanting to get very far.
Yeah, the way this looked in the videos, some of the waves were pretty tough looking.
They did look
And
nasty.
yeah, and there was even some defense waves that looked pretty nasty too. So if your base isn't up to snuff and your units aren't up to snuff, then you're gonna only expect to go so far without cha-ching and
Get your credit card ready.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. All right, well, I think that about wraps this up. And be sure to stay tuned for CM Sulaco
in an
at
hour.
11 in 1 hour. Yes, thank you, Data. Good luck, Commanders, and happy hunting.